Hello, and welcome to the Healing Dreams Project, exploring projective dream work for your health and wholeness with hosts Billie Ortiz and Dr. Royce. I am the producer, Viviana, and today we're going to explore one of my very short and sweet dreams.
Yay!
I'm excited.
Okay,
Should we dive right in?
sure. Anytime.
Yeah, let's see how short a dream can be, because of what we know short dreams often do.
Yes. 3 sentences, I think. No, 4. Okay. Here we go. I had dreamt this on July 30th. I am trying to get to the glaciers, but there are a few obstacles. It is hard to find someone to go with me. It is really far away, and I need someone to help me with the driving. I am at my mom's house, and one of the rooms is haunted. End of dream.
Okay, well that's easy. No.
One of
yeah, go ahead, Billy. Sorry.
There's glaciers, there's obstacles. It's hard to find someone to go with me. I need help. Is that what I say? I need some
help with the driving.
I need help with the driving. And it's far away.
And then weirdly, what's written is I am at my mom's house and one of the rooms is haunted. So haunting, vampire, that's kind of a recurring theme for me. And I dreamt this, I think, shortly after I had been in Alaska with all the glaciers.
Right.
Which in my memory is about 6 weeks ago. Or longer.
Months, I think. Well, the dream, I dreamt it on July 30th. So it would have been around June, I think, is when I went to Alaska.
Okay.
What tells me that the room is haunted? What happens that makes me think that?
It's just a feeling. And in my recurring dreams, it's usually I can see the vampires. It's usually about vampires. This is the first time that it was felt more haunted. So it feels slightly dangerous. But in my waking world, I would feel intrigued and slightly inspired, but in the dream, it felt a little slightly scary.
And
in the dream, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
My mom is very, very sensitive and very, I would say she's very intuitive.
In the dream, I'm at her house. Is this a waking life house?
I just know it's my mom's house. I don't remember.
Is my mom in the dream?
No, I'm just in her. I just know I'm at her house. And I just know that one of the rooms is haunted.
Yeah. So this is a funny comment. One of the rooms is haunted, not the whole house or anything. It's just this one. So any memory of what room it is or which room it is in the house? Because it just seems but it seems, I describe it as feels dangerous and scary. So something feels
Slightly, yeah, slightly dangerous and scary. Yeah.
so
Um,
what about glaciers then? Oh, I'm sorry, Royce. Do, do you want to tell us about, how would you describe a glacier? Is it's something that I know I have done often as Viviana visit glaciers, and just any
Yeah,
descriptors.
I love glaciers, and somehow my life has taken me to just about all the glaciers of the world, including Antarctica,
Wow.
Greenland, Chile, Alaska, Norway, you name it. Somehow, it's not that I've sought them out, it's just my life
Mm,
has taken me there. So it's kind of a fun sort of factoid about
yeah.
my life.
mhm.
And
And I've landed on them. I've walked on them, landed in a helicopter and walked on them. I have watched them calve as they do. And in Argentina, there's one that's just massive. I've gone on lakes, gone super close to them. So I just have, I feel like glaciers are a recurring waking life scenario.
and if I didn't know what a glacier was, how would you describe it to me?
Glacier is frozen water, ancient frozen water.
Mhm.
They're crystal clear blue, like this almost indescribable, hard to put to words, the blue,
Mm,
cerulean blue. It's just this amazing teal cerulean magic.
mm,
There's just and they're so huge, yet from a distance they can look so tiny, but they're just the scale always surprises and inspires awe.
mhm.
Mm.
Mm,
They are sacred giants
mm.
of the planet.
Wow. They feel alive. They are the sculptors of the planet.
Mm.
Mm. Wow. Wonderful imagination. Um, I would like to hear the dream again, since it is so short. Is that okay?
Of course. I am trying to get to the glaciers, but there are a few obstacles. It is hard to find someone to go with me. It is really far away, and I need someone to help with the driving. I am at my mom's house, and one of the rooms is haunted.
One of the dreams. That's cute.
Mhm. Do I know what obstacles are
That's what I
in
was
my
gonna
dream?
ask. Yeah.
Yes, a little too much in my life. Obstacles, just the daily frustrations. We all must have a lot of frustrations, obstacles, things that get in the way of wanting, of a goal.
Mm,
So I'm not thinking of any particular obstacle like uh, I don't know what like the terrain of trying to drive over the terrain or the obstacles of economics. I'm not thinking of those. I'm I so I'm just aware that I want to go. It's a long ways and there are obstacles.
The obstacle is not finding someone to drive, help me with
Mm.
the drive.
and why do I feel as though I need someone to help me with the drive? Because it's such a lengthy trip, and I need to share the driving? Is that more like what? So like it's many hours away.
It
that
feels
how-
like it in the dream. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't feel as though I ever find anybody that can help me yet.
At the end of the dream, no, I hadn't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I had this dream sometime after I came back from Alaska.
Yeah.
However, that's not the first time I've been to glaciers. Experience. So something perhaps invited the dream, though, out of my trip to Alaska, and not just because it's unique. Glaciers are a waking life experience that I've had, and I love them. I love these glaciers.
Yes.
This is where I'm imagining listeners are already projecting on all these aspects, all these elements of the dream. And I want to just underline that everything that we start wondering about and saying, oh, maybe this is what it means, all of this are projections from the listener and from us. And this is the richness, and for us to own that these are our projections is the beauty of this style of dream work. So we're not analyzing, we are experiencing.
Yeah.
As if this is my glacier, this is my dream.
Wow.
My obstacle.
Mm-hmm. Well, in my dream, I appreciate that word was used just now, because I know I love glaciers, and for me they are alive in the Gaia concept of all of Earth is living. It's an organism, or made up of billions of organisms, and so this glacier is part of it, and of us, of the living Earth, and obstacles. I want to go. So in my dream, something about glaciers are holding wisdom, and are holding I'm needing to have conversations, some kind of conversations. I need these glaciers, and obstacles are in my way. And well, I'm going to stop there. That just feels heavy.
Yeah, I would say that dreams with obstacles are also a recurring theme for me. I mean, that's a waking life. I'm just today, I was driving for my physical therapy, and there was a truck without a wheel. And I just sat there going, okay, obstacle. This is going to require some patience. I might be late and all this stuff. Anyway, and then fast forward, I'm at physical therapy, and then I'm about to use the Pilates machine. And just then, one of the other therapists needs to use it. And I think again, obstacle. And I just try to breathe and just go with the flow. But it's it's a waking life and dream, something that I'm always working on to try to move through more gracefully.
So in my dream, when I'm aware of obstacles, what's my feeling tone in the dream when I'm aware I want to go to the glaciers? I can't.
It's frustration.
Right. This is one of those places in our dreams where I have to remind myself all the time, the dream doesn't come to tell me remind me of frustration and just keep going, putting me in a situation of feeling frustrated. The dream, it's like the dream says, well, Viviana, this is the best metaphor we can come up with. It's just like when we were working on the dream with the office and the discussions we had about that, my recurring theme. It's like the dream's not coming to say, gee, Billy, you had this wonderful, beautiful office that you loved so much and now you don't have it anymore. It's not a sense of making me feel terrible and a sense of loss. So in imagining myself as the dreamer, explaining that I have obstacles that show up so often in my waking life and so often in my dream world, I would ask myself, what other emotion might be underneath that frustration? Because the frustration has been, the part what I go to so frequently as the dreamer. I say, oh yeah, well, I felt frustrated. And there's something deeper underneath that if it were my version, in my version, because again, my dreams aren't going to come to remind me of something that I can't solve. They're always coming to in the service of health and wholeness so that I can evolve and grow and change past this level of frustration. So the only adjectives I got about mom, who doesn't really show up in the dream, but I'm at my mom's house, and I mentioned that she's very sensitive and intuitive, which again, that's how projection works. It's like we just dealt with it in the other dream. It's like if I see these things in my mother, then that means that they're true for me as well. So there's some part of me that's very sensitive, and that's why I love the glaciers, because the glaciers have like this, I say the scale always surprises me, and it just stimulates a sense of awe. There's something, and they're ancient. They carry this history of forming over long periods of time. So when I think of water in the dream world, I think of emotional energy, and I also think of life force energy, because everything living has to have water in order to survive. So as Viviana, I'm attracted to the glaciers because they hold so much emotional energy, and they hold so much history and so much life force energy. And the dream is saying that I can get there, but I have to find some way I need help. I can't do it all on my own. It's a way for, I'm imagining this as my inner glaciers. I'm trying to get to the glaciers within, and I realize that I'm going to need to partner up with another part of myself. See, I'm imagining, and I don't know what comes to mind in the dream. Is there anybody that I think to call, or is there any conversations that happen between anybody else in the dream about getting in the car?
No, I just felt like I didn't know. I didn't have someone to call, or no, no one came to mind, or it just didn't flow.
Yeah. So how do I feel then when I realize I don't have anybody to help me get there?
Well, I think maybe disappointed, but also I know that I always will continue to go to the glaciers because I always end up there. So I know that it's not the end of the world, and I know that it'll just be at some other opportunity.
Right.
I mean, at least I know this in my waking life, and I would have thought that that's something along the lines of what I said to myself in the dream.
A conclusion that I come to in the dream is like, this is a missed opportunity, but this isn't the only opportunity that's ever going to arise. So yeah, the way you describe the glaciers is quite beautiful. So there's some piece, and in my version, there's some really sacred quality to it. And I think you call them sacred giants. Wow. I mean, that just seems like, this lovely organism that lives on the earth that is filled with all this history and and beauty and again, energy, a life force energy. Um,
I would like to comment on that too. Oftentimes in dream work, when we talk about ice, snow, water, etc., it's natural, kind of easy to refer to that aspect of ourselves as, a frozen part of perhaps our emotions, which is, in my projection, is always true in part. Okay. In this dream, this is about, for me, the formation of who I am. And these spiritual giants, ancient giants, what was the term?
Sacred giants.
Sacred giants. I love that. Goosebumpy stuff. These sacred giants are composed of droplets of water that have been collected for thousands and thousands and thousands of years and come together to touch, sculpt, carve, move upon, move within the earth, and to form and reform, and then to melt, and then to come again, and to form and reform. It's like this amazing conversation that ice and earth have had and will have for thousands and millions of years, eons. So these are my friends. These sacred giants are bigger than I, are a part of what is carving me, and a part that is moving slowly. Slow time, not fast time. Humans have fast time. Trees, rocks, etc. have slow time.
Right.
Ice has slow time. So this is part of how I am moving and growing and changing and being carved, lovingly being carved, as well as feeling like I'm not yet done, and I'm frustrated, and also I am moving ever so slowly in a good, graceful manner. That is peace. That is grace. This reminds me of a scripture from where I don't quite remember, Old Testament. It's a beautiful scripture that says, "See, I will not forget you, for I have carved you on the palm of my hand."
Wow.
So it's that, I am the earth, and the sacred giants will not forget me, and they are carving me, and I am holding them as I am also being carved. This graceful learning process. So for me, this dream touches some of the deeper wisdoms that I just innately carry, intuitively carry as my mom. And there are obstacles. I appreciate a lot what Billie said a second ago, and I'm going to hack on other dream approaches, because I think it would be easy to say, okay, what are the obstacles in our lives? And, we analyze that, and we probably would come up with some pretty good ones and true. However, what Billie brought up is this could be a placeholder for other aspects that that are deeper than this aspect of simply having obstacles. No, it's like a placeholder for something deeper in me. And I think this is what the earth and the glacier are trying to help me come to be aware of.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
So good.
Mhm.
Royce, I loved the slow time because
Mm,
that's what my life has, since my car accident, since 2020. It's
mm,
my first encounter with slow time
mm,
because
Mm,
I used to move so fast. And the glaciers are slow time, like the trees and the rocks. And that's what obstacles bring me.
mm.
They force me back
mm.
into slow time.
Oh, wow. Hits,
Mm.
bumps, goosey bumps.
Yep.
The obstacles are my gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
Mm.
you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Wow.
Ha.
Oh, so this part that, my mommy reminds me of this part of myself because I already know this about slow time. I just don't know it. And I know it. I know this. And in that room, there is a haunting. So this is where I feel like the dream's answer
Mm.
is in the room.
Ha. Ha.
Doesn't come to frustrate me, comes to help heal me. The room holds, the haunting holds the answer.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, so many things come to mind for me with the haunting of and how I even know that this place is haunted. There's some part of the and it's not the whole house. It's just a room within that house. So, again, looking at the metaphor of whenever a house shows up in a dream, it's one of the few places we can say always. It, it's a it's always a representation of the self. So whether it be I'm in a small cabin in the woods, or I'm in a mansion, or my mother's house, or my house, it's always a representation of the self. So when I think of one of those rooms within the self being haunted, that's the part of me that's connected to the other side. That's the part of me that's connected to the unseen world. That's the part of me
Mhm.
that knows. And I even say that as the dreamer, I even say that there are other dreams that I've had that I see vampires, or I know that there's a haunting or whatever. There's something in my dream that continues to remind me what I see, touch, and feel in the waking world is not necessarily, that's not all there is. There's always the mystery. There's always that which I'm invited to participate in, because I'm a little
Mm.
scared. I'm kind of like, it feels kind of dangerous. But in my version, if it were me, I would be so curious, like who is here and what's going on, and try to have some sort of communication. I mean, I really have had some unusual things happen in my life, that were kind of scary, but also kind of exciting. And I mean, I remember a lot of times when I was doing the nighttime dream group in Boulder, and I'd have to drive to my home in Lafayette. It's like a 12-mile drive. And I would often smell someone smoking a cigarette in the back seat. That happened more times than I can count. And sometimes it would be big wafts of perfume.
Mm.
And so
Mm.
it was a little, it's a little creepy being alone and pitch black dark driving home and thinking who the hell is in the back seat. But it was something that I sort of just became more familiar with it. I just was like, okay, so there, who knows who this might be. Never really got any sense of direct communication or anything. But I always thought it has to be maybe one of my ancestors. It has to be somebody who's maybe watching what I'm doing in the world and kind of decides to take a ride, you know? I mean, it's unusual stuff, but so I mean in my dream, it why does that little bit have to end the dream? One of the rooms is haunted. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well, let's just throw that in, you know, like at the very end there. And uh anyway, what I've said is pretty much it. It's like I would be curious and also allow myself that opening to what in the world that, you know, what energy is it? Is it an ancestor? Is it someone that when I walk on these glaciers in waking life, think to myself how many civilizations back have walked on these glaciers, and how I am making my um, mark in that ancient sacred giant.
So that connects with my mother who can represent my family system, or part of my family system. And it's in my mother's house that there is this haunting. And if I can calm myself, not let the fear of the haunting become an obstacle, but to appreciate the haunting as a forebearer of past energies, like glaciers are, and they're also forebearers of present and future energies. So whatever is in this room is a part of me, my unknown aspects.
Yeah.
And how am I getting ready to know that aspect, those aspects of myself? I am getting ready. I'm intrigued. I'm a little bit afraid, and I'm also intrigued.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I love it. And I did think, as you both were talking, that yes, ancestors are being pulled in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I love that concept, understanding that ancestors are calling themselves forth, as well as we are calling them. And Bellie's story of driving and smelling these aromas, it's like, okay, what part of the unconscious does that come from in me as I'm driving? Is it a literal smell? Is it a metaphorical smell? They're all the same. It doesn't have to be literal to be true. Well, this room doesn't have to be literally something from a physical ghost, blah blah blah. And metaphorically, this is true. Somehow, in the beingness of life, which the glaciers and the earth remind me of in my mother, and the beingness of life, all the beings coming together, I am calling them forth, and they are calling me forth. And as Jeremy would often say, that when we are on the precipice of growth, it shocks there's a disturbance in the force, because the ancestors come forth. It's like, oh, Viviana, Royce, Billie, we're growing. Let's we got to watch. We got to be a part of this, because we change and heal and grow too. Thank you for having these obstacles. Thank you for growing. Slow time, fast time, because we can grow too. And it makes me think, sacred beings, sacred giants are needing me. My ancestors are needing me to keep growing. and they're grateful, as I am grateful for them.
It's beautiful.
Love it. Powerful. Great insights.
Oh,
I would still be curious about, what energies do I need to connect with that are going to help me make this journey? And that's one of the things in the dream that I'm clear. It's clear that I, Viviana, cannot do it all on my own. So that's kind of
right,
goes along with
right.
what Royce is saying. There are energies that we can connect with through our ancestors, and also whatever pieces within me, like Royce is mentioning, the family system within, what parts of me will help me to endure, and have more strength and stamina, as I'm head out on the next adventure in the dream world. And there, and we have these characters within that I just love. That's why I've said this many times, and I'll say it again, that my favorite characters in dreams are like the mechanics, the bartenders, the guy in the shop that's fixing the bike, and it's like, I don't know these people. I don't have any waking life relationship with them, but they're in the dream world and they keep things moving. And we dealt with it with your dreams with the customs. We had a couple of customs in Turkey was one of the episodes we have. And I said the same thing. I said, these people that are the security guards and the customs officials and all of the people that work at the airport, they're parts of me. They're interior parts of me as the dreamer. And they have a job. They have a job to do. Sometimes that job is to let me through, and sometimes through whatever obstacle, and sometimes their job is to obstruct me. And that's where the archetype of the gatekeeper is so complex, because they're the gatekeeper, threshold guardians are designed to protect us if we're not ready for that next stage. I may not be ready yet to whatever glacier I'm going to in this particular dream. There might be a level of development, a level of my evolution that has to occur before I'm ready to make that particular journey. So my helper hasn't shown up yet, if that makes sense. So, but then it's the same kind of thing that there's, so as the dreamer, I say the obstacles help me to remember that slow time. Maybe that's one of the evolutions that I have to go through before I get to that next glacier in the dream.
That's really on target projection for me too. The obstacles are my gifts because I am not ready, and I am becoming ready.
Right.
I have been ready. I am ready, and I will be ready. So all of these are working together for the good of my growth,
right,
and the Earth's growth too. We haven't talked about the environmental aspect of glaciers and Earth, and I know this is a part of the dream. The Earth is dreaming this dream. The glaciers are dreaming this dream. The climate is dreaming this dream.
Right.
All of us are dreaming this dream. So it speaks at many, many, many levels.
That's very important for us to remember that collective piece too. With each dream we have, especially brings our awareness to the global warming and situations, and how many of the ice flows and icebergs are disappearing in certain areas. So yeah, maybe I have dreams about glaciers and love glaciers as the dreamer so much, because I again, it's bringing that awareness to others too. It's like, this could be something else that disappears.
Yeah, this is my haunting. This is the earth's
Oh.
haunting.
Oh, that hit me in
Yes.
the heart.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yes.
It's haunting me.
Mhm.
Thank you for this amazing
Four,
dream.
four sentence dreams.
Yeah, this 4-sentence cup of wisdom. Mhm.
It's almost like
Wow.
we could have little subtitle, like a little, a running uh, version of the dream written, and then have a little bouncing ball going on it, because it's like, it's such a small little dream, but I mean, look what you can get out of a small little dream, because they're just packed. They're packed like glaciers are packed. They're
Oh, whoa,
Mm.
whoa, 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 that was good.
so maybe
That was that was haunting.
well, it seems to me like that would be a great metaphor for a physical form of a dream, the shape of a glacier, and as you were saying, this constant carving of melting and refreezing and melting and refreezing over millennia, I guess, most of the time. Right.
Mhm.
Ay, makes me think a lot about it.
Profound. All that you both have shared.
All right.
And you can only see how profound it is because this is in you.
Can't go you.
No, we can't. No, Billy looked at me. I got that.
Oh, no.
However, but you all get my point. I
Yeah.
cannot see how profound someone else is unless that is in me as well.
And also with you, or also with me.
Mhm,
You know how in
mhm,
peace be with you and also with you, or something like that.
Yeah.
mhm.
You know what you
Right.
say in sacred spaces.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. The blessing. Yeah. Peace be with you.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow. So, Viviana, is there anything else you want to say about your dream, or is there anything else you wanted to say, Royce? It's like a place to.
There were some things, and now they've kind of dissipated, so I can't remember what they are. I love this dream, as I do all the dreams, and yet each one is so unique. I just feel nourished again.
Yeah, it's great.
Mhm.
Well, I love that my my recurring dream characters are from other realms
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
ancestors, hinting at my ancestors and
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
otherworldly. It's kind of fun. Ah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
And
yes, go ahead.
I was just going to reiterate what Royce was saying, and they're cheering us on. I think it's really important to understand that there there's a need for the ancestors to see our development, because we're helping to cleanse their unlived life and their unexpressed grief. So the more often that we fulfill our calling, our individual calling, whatever that might be, the more we help to heal them in the other world. And that, talk about teary-eyed, that makes me immediately get the emotion
Mhm.
in my throat, because I think of it, how monumental that is, how this energy is around us all the time, and we're in somewhat of a conversation with it, I think, unconsciously all the time. And maybe that's why the haunting. I'm haunted by the unlived life of my ancestors, the unexpressed creativity, the pieces of their lives that
Mhm.
were hit by obstacles, and they weren't able to finish what their work was in the world. Or
Mhm.
Wow.
yeah,
Mhm.
we take it for
Mhm.
granted you know, just like what we've gone through with the pandemic. I mean, fortunately, we have developed medical science to the point now where there's been some type of, you know, help to try to minimize it. But think of what happened, you know, with the flu epidemic, the Spanish flu, that when the soldiers came back, and it was a terrible outbreak. I mean, millions of people died. I can't remember the numbers. I mean, it was something like 40 million or something died. So what I'm getting at is that we're living in a time in history now where we have penicillin, and we have, you know, vaccines, and we have better sanitation, all these kind of things, which so many of our ancestors didn't have. So just a little thing like that.
Well,
Well, thank you both so much.
You're welcome.
Love it.
The little dreams.
Yeah. Compact with loads of wisdom. So Billie, tell us about wakeuptoyourdreams.com.
That's my website, wakeuptoyourdreams.com. I offer private sessions, and I offer groups throughout the month. And I'm also starting up another round of Dreamworker training. So there's an intro workshop that's scheduled for January 14th. It's all the information's up on my website. And connect with me anytime. Wakeuptoyourdreams.com.
Wonderful. And how about roycefitz.com?
Yes. So I invite you to go to my website, and on the website, you'll see several or a couple of avenues to connect with me in the area of dream work and spiritual counseling. And the way I describe or define spiritual counseling is that which gives us meaning, that which we the deeper values of who we are, how we are yearning for this to unfold in us and in the world. And it may be very specific struggles that we're having, like jobs or work-related stress, family struggles, and or deeper, broader philosophical, religious, or other intellectual things that are just, like we talked about in the dream, the environmental impact that is on us and that we are causing. And so how do we make meaning and beauty and purpose and adventure with all of that we are? So that's how I move and invite people, because we have lots of invitations to create meaning and beauty and purpose and healing in the world. Dreams are one of the primary avenues. So you can contact me for a free 30-minute consultation just to explore this, if this is right for you. Dream work, spiritual counseling. Also, I have a book coming out after the first of the year sometime, called The Geography of the Soul. And I was so thinking of that title in Viviana's dream, about the glaciers and the earth and that constant conversation, and how that is a literal and spiritual metaphor for who we are, as we have our own geography, our soul's geography. How do we navigate ourselves through this? So if you go to the website, you can sign up and get the intro to that book. And also, I hope it builds an anticipation for the whole book as it's coming out later on. And as I said earlier, TikTok is on hiatus, and Good Prairie Morning on TikTok will be coming back when when the slow time and the
Yeah.
fast time converge.
And I wanted to just say one thing. First of all, Royce, congratulations on your book, because I think that's so wonderful. And I'm so
Mm.
excited for you. And the other thing I wanted to say is if you get a chance to record an audio version of your book, please do, because you have
Yeah.
such an amazing, lovely announcer voice. So
Yes,
Oh,
you
thank you.
do.
I
You
want
do.
to do
You
that.
must.
Uh,
You must.
okay, let's I'm going to talk to Thea, the publisher, Flint Hills Publishing, about that. That has been down on the list ranking, and it's still on the list. So thank you. It's a
yeah.
great idea.
Oh, and I love audiobooks,
I
because
do too.
you
Yeah.
can just be driving in the car, you can be taking a walk, you can be,
Mhm.
and so there's but you have the voice for it, definitely.
Yeah,
I
you
think it's
do.
Thank
wonderful.
you. Thank
I
you.
love it. It's very soothing and wonderful. Profound. Find it all at roycefitz.com. Well, you, the listener, if you have a dream for us, we invite you to call the Dreamer Hotline. The number is 720-573-9195. Again, the number is 720-573-9195. Operators are standing by.
Please call. We love your
Uh,
dreams, and we will delicately work with you in understanding the deeper meanings of these gifts.
and be patient. It takes 5 rings for it to pick up. So it's a landline.
Obstacles, obstacles,
Slow time, slow time.
slow
Like,
time.
ring,
Mhm.
ring, ring, ring.
Mhm.
Well, if you like what you've been hearing, what we've been sharing with you, we invite you to subscribe, to share with your friends. Tell your friends about the Healing Dreams Project. Tell them, invite them to tune in. We are available on Instagram, Facebook, Pandora, iHeartRadio, TikTok, you name it, YouTube, all over, and Apple. We'd love it if you'd leave us a review. We have been sharing your reviews on air as well. So please help spread the word. And with that, I'm Viviana, and I can be reached at viviana.org. That's viviana.org. I'm a musician and polyglot of many different
Hmm,
languages,
Mm.
music, magic, and dreams.
that's
Well, till next time, we wish you wonderfully beautiful, wonderful and beautiful dreaming.
Mhm.